Hello and welcome back to another episode of the WhizzbangBAM podcast. I'm your host, Brad Goodall. Today in the studio with me, I have Rachel Allinder, rhymes with calendar, founder and CEO of the Foundry Theater in Huntington, West Virginia. Is that all correct?
That's all correct.
I killed it. Great. She brought me a gift today. She brought me a chrysanthemum tea drink. Let's crack these bad boys, shall we?
Yeah, let's taste it.
It's a food review show, temporarily. What is chrysanthemum? Is that a plant?
Yeah, there's in the fall you'll see really brightly colored potted plants out. Mm-hmm. Those are chrysanthemums.
Tastes like the fall.
It does kind of taste like leaves or something, doesn't it?
Very leafy. Anyway, sorry, turning this into an ASMR interview. That's not the point. That's not the reason we're here on the WhizzbangBAM podcast today. Tell me a little bit about the Foundry Theater. That's sort of the latest venue I think that's come across my purview in Huntington recently. When did that all get started? How'd that happen?
Well, the Foundry Theater, we're located out of a venue that is over 100 years old.
Right.
It's
City Hall.
On top of City Hall in Huntington. Mm-hmm. Over the past 100 years, I'm trying to get together a history of what has happened up in that space, but I find a lot of people, when I tell them, oh yeah, come to this event, there's a venue on top of City Hall, a lot of people that have lived in Huntington their whole lives have no idea that it's even up there.
No.
So it's kind of neat. It's a haunted theater if you're into haunted theaters.
Definitely haunted
It's
vibes.
not a haunted theater if you're scared of haunted theaters.
Okay.
And so the mayor about a year ago was looking for some new blood up in that space. Mm-hmm. So we formed Foundry Theater and put in a bid for this to manage the venue.
Right.
And we got the space.
So is it still like technically owned by the city and you guys manage it?
I lease the auditorium from the city of Huntington.
Okay. Regarding the space, the Foundry Theater, is it something that is, let's call it subleasable or rentable? Let's say a person wanted to shoot a music video or, host a private event. Is that something you guys do in addition to just having programs set at the theater?
Yeah, absolutely. Since I've been up there, there's been a wedding. And you shot a music video.
I shot a music
video
up
really
there.
Cool.
I made great use of the space. It was a lovely time.
Yeah, Alan Brown or Corduroy Brown shot a music video up in the space as well.
Right on.
It's usable for that, and there are several dance groups in the community that will rent it and use it. Mm-hmm. And it's really neat when stuff like that happens in the space, when there are recitals in the space, because it's just has all this dramatic molding, and it's just a really beautiful spot for people
historic.
To put on whatever they're wanting to share. It's neat. So yes, to answer your question, it's absolutely you can rent it or to put on a show or
sure. Yeah, I mean, part of this podcast just dealing with regional creators and people in the area who are up to stuff. I try to use it as a platform for them to promote their businesses, their projects, whatever it may be. So, I mean, I think when people think of like an old theater, they think they might have the wrong perception of like it is a functional, huge square footage that you could kind of trick out to your own needs and make the best of it that way. Like with the music video thing that we got involved with up there, I mean, it was the perfect situation. That's what I wanted. I wanted like a showbiz POV, and I wanted those types of moldings and backdrops, and we made great use of the space. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
I owe you for that one. But I mean, I just hope, that message gets across too, just in general. But I think I've been prompted about some other work you are doing with Marshall stuff. Okay. I was sent just a brief prompt.
Okay. So the current diversity scholar at Marshall University and I are working together to create a curriculum that we can send to the public schools and for next school year, and they can bring their students on a field trip to the space, screen a film, and sort of create the curriculum that we're creating will be a a product for the teachers to have. So something to share with their students before they come, and then they come and they experience this documentary, a project to work on afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And really, there are a bunch of artists in our community and people who like to consume art, and I think it makes sense to just be another conduit for these people to get together. So we have the Good Time Show, which sort of has a little bit of history in Huntington so far, and I just sort of lucked into it having worked out of this space already. So we've collaborated, and the goal is to try to have, an episode a month if possible.
Yeah.
Of that show.
And what is the Good Time Show for those who don't know?
The Good Time Show is a variety show.
Oh, classic.
So, it's filmed live, and the creator, Michael Valentine, is able to get people to come and kind of say or do whatever he writes for them to say or do, but it always ends up being fun and interesting.
Yeah, I've been involved in a few of Michael's programs.
Absolutely.
They're a wild time that he has like this crazy control over like 50 people and somehow always pulls a production out of it every single time. I mean, they have at the Foundry Theater, there's a Christmas special as well that happens every year. Mm-hmm. And that's called something else, but that's not the Good Time Show.
Yeah, that is the Good Time Show.
Yeah. He wants to do it once a month.
So there are different types of episodes. So we have the Mountain Mamas, which is
that's right.
the next show we have coming up, which is so those episodes are 7 Appalachian women covering a particular male artist. Mm-hmm. So coming up we have ladies singing Elvis songs.
Sweet.
And there's a male counterpart to that show as well, which will be happening in June. And we have 14 gentlemen singing one Dolly Parton song apiece.
Fun.
So that should be really cool. So there are also there's a live podcast event, which is one of the episodes of the Good Time Show.
Okay.
And we're trying to secure our funding so that every time we produce a show, we have the money to pay everyone involved a fair wage for what they're doing. So it's slow. We don't quite have that one show a month yet, but we're working on it.
Is when you have a space that's like leased from like a government entity like that, are there like grants involved? Like, I mean, how does that really work? Is there like any kind of like discount for doing something like of goodwill in your community?
If you form a nonprofit.
Is that what you guys have done?
Working on. Well, we are a nonprofit according to the state of West Virginia, but we're pending IRS, like our tax status. So as soon as that happens, there are a lot of arts grants, even just within the state of West Virginia, and the people that oversee that on the state level are really helpful, and they want people to write grants and bring as much of that grant money into the state.
Right.
So it's there is a lot in place to help Foundry accomplish these goals financially. We really are kind of waiting on that tax status.
Yeah. Who do we know? Do we know anybody at the IRS we can call them? I don't know anybody. I'm a little behind on my taxes. I just said that on microphone, by the way. No, but I mean, that really is a special thing. I mean, you should really pat yourself on the back some for really taking something that could have been seen as, I mean, it could have just been a big storage facility for just random Huntington stuff. I mean, it could have easily gone down that path had somebody not had the willpower and vision to try to revamp it and do something with it. I've already personally, I mean, how long has it really been, have you been involved with it?
I've had it pretty much since August of 2021, so not a year yet. Well,
I've already benefited from it a ton. I owe you a debt of gratitude and the city, but really it's a special thing, and you should feel proud of it. I mean, I can really only see it just blossoming from here.
Well, that's the plan.
That's the plan. That's the plan. That's the plan. Rachel Allender, everybody. Thank you very much for stopping by.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Chrysanthemum tea.